Welcome, everybody, to another great CEO podcast. I have Aaron Hageman here from Delivery Drivers, Inc. Welcome, Aaron.
Good morning, Jim. How are you?
I am well. Thanks for joining us. So maybe you could start with it in a few sentences. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your company.
Sure. I'm a California entrepreneur, born and raised. Live in Southern California, which is where my business, Delivery Drivers Incorporated, is based. I've been running this business for over 25 years now. And what we do is really run a 1099 third-party technology-enabled platform for drivers all over the country for all different types of programs, all different types of delivery. And so we're the back office for the 1099 driver programs nationally. Nice. Onboarding drivers, accounting, taxes, risk management, things like that.
Got it. Wow. Well, I mean, given the sort of demolition of the brick and mortar business and move to delivery, that's a phenomenal place to be. So,
fuel to the fire. It was a busy world before COVID, and the last couple of years have been, a little
crazy.
Extra. Exactly.
So what's your competitive advantage? I mean, it's a hot space, obviously, but why do people come to you to help them with this problem?
You know, it's a great question. And for us, it's the focus and the mission of really what we would say is the drivers first. Mm-hmm. The work all needs to get done. Recruiting drivers, onboarding drivers, being 1099 compliant. But for us doing that and partnering with all the different companies out there to focus on bringing a great HR experience for an independent contractor is really the competitive secret sauce.
Got it. So you win with the drivers. That's the model. Once I got the drivers, the other side is relatively, because that's the scarce commodity today, right?
Exactly. And I think it applies to all, thoughts when we think of our people and our teams and our companies, right? Is building a great program, whether it's a W-2 program for our in-house teams or 1099 based programs. So recreating some of the things we would traditionally see under benefits like dental insurance, medical insurance, things along these lines for the solopreneur independent contractor has been a big win. And, it's well received.
Got it. So it seems like it would be high, but what percentage of your revenue recurs every year? So you come in January 1st, we did X last year. I mean, what's in the bag for the following year? Like done. We don't have to go sell it. It's already done. It should just recur.
Yeah. When we're thinking business models to DDI, it's really a recurring revenue model. Yeah. So unless we kind of goof up or, our clients go a different way with the programs, maybe do some different things, different ways. Really, it's our book of business is ours to continue to have and book and grow. So I'd say it's probably 90 to 95% recurring revenue, less some products around it. Yeah.
So, I mean, we talked about maybe the drivers, but what's the point of constraint in this business? So the one thing that if I could just magic wand, change it, it makes it a materially better business. What is that item for you?
I hate to be cliche, but for us right now with the velocity of our growth, it's probably the speed of enabling our technology.
Oh, wow.
And always engineering it. And there's a lot of change. So bringing more and more change, more dynamic features to the program. I mean, if I had my way, maybe it's just the ornery CEO in me, snap my fingers and have the things that are, I know, on schedule for, the next quarter, the next 6 months, ready to go now because we're in such a rapidly changing high demand space.
Yep. Got it. Interesting. We just did a talk on innovation, and an ornery CEO says, I want it now, is actually drives innovation, believe it or not. So it's not all bad to be ornery in a CEO. It's okay. Yeah. So how many hours a week you working nowadays?
Great question. 10-hour days, 12-hour days, probably pretty consistent. So we would say, 50, 60 hours a week without fail is, kind of the work-life balance around DDI these days. But truly, it's when we were joking with my VP of sales, when we work 60 hours a week, man, do we work 60 hours a week? So it's been busy.
It's a real 60, right?
Exactly. My executive assistant keeps me busy, pretty scheduled out, wall to wall.
Very cool. So, and how do you allocate your time within those 60 hours? Sort of, it's 60. Where do I focus my chunks of time?
Again, great question. For me, at a high level, let's take it from the C-suite perspective, I tend to look into three big categories of work to start it off.
Yep.
I look towards the growth side of the business. spending time with the marketing teams, the sales teams. I was at a trade show last week, not something I do on a regular basis, but it was really great to get out there with the sales teams, talk to customers, potential customers on the front lines. Secondarily, and then this last year in a rapidly growing business and, being an experienced CEO with this company for over 20 years, a lot of time in operations.
Yeah.
Is the second bucket, and really making sure as things change and as our team grows, it's training, it's systems, things like that within operations. Last but not least, I got a great team, but spend some time in and around the corporate side of the business. I'm a planner and got a head for numbers. And so when we look at our technology and our finance teams and sort of the back office teams, again, these are the three areas where essentially I'd end up dividing my time.
Got it. Okay. So as you grow, obviously we need to shed things down here so we can elevate the value of work. Name one major responsibility you've delegated or taken off your plate in the last 6 months.
Great question. Let's see. Specifically, the last 6 months. In the last year, we've brought in senior leadership. But the last 6 months are really where this has come to fruition. We've brought in senior leadership in and around our sales team. Okay. So very specifically working with the front side sales team, coaching, training, development, and working with their accounts is something that I'm happy to say while we continue to grow I've been hands off on. Working with some of the enterprise accounts and the senior team, sure, but the front side team, I'm decidedly hands off.
Did you used to manage that group and you delegated it out when you brought in the people?
Always a side of growth. Yeah, exactly. There was,
that's a winner.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. So give me one or two things that would characterize your leadership style as a CEO. If I interviewed people that work for you, here are the one or two things they'd say characterizes your leadership style.
So I'm a people-driven enabler. I'm a teacher and a coach. Okay. So I like to think of myself, and my team would agree, that I'm a very internally focused CEO, in that 80% of my time is going to be spent with my team, helping them, pushing them, coaching them. What are they working on? How are we doing so that they can go within their divisions and get the work done? Then 20% of the time is going to be outwardly facing, as it were. So in terms of style, that's kind of how I spend. I'm pretty energetic and engaged with my direct team.
Yeah, no, people-centric, charismatic, and almost servant leadership. How do I make this go better for you?
Servant CEO would be the phrase I've stolen once.
There you go. That's good. And then just last question, what do you do for fun?
For me, I love sports. I really do. So, fortunate to live in Southern California, where within, a quick hour plane ride at most, we've got so many different kinds of sports. You and I think pre-interview here, we're talking about soccer, and football, and things like that. So, catching live sports, doing this, I'm glad to see the world kind of getting back to life a little bit, because it's a big part of what I love to do.
Nice. Well, awesome, Aaron. Thank you so much for the interview. Thank you for your time. And I got a great business. I'm phenomenally well positioned. Congratulations.
Thanks. Appreciate it. And thanks for the time this morning.
Absolutely.